Peace, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Peace Be Still with Katera Renee. I'm your host, Katera. As you all know, I always ask for my Instagram community's input on what topic you would all like to hear about on upcoming episodes. This past week, there was a split tie between this topic, which is how to look and feel more feminine, budgeting and living frugally, and how to stay healthy this summer. I had to run the poll again, and lo and behold, how to look and feel more feminine barely won. To anyone who's listening right now and voted for something else, don't fret. Those topics are definitely being saved for later and will be considered for future episodes. Nonetheless, as always, I'm extremely excited for today's episode because I feel like this topic is so relevant in my life, and in my opinion, it should be relevant in every woman's life. I try to stay away from long-windedness and blabbing on because I know really no one wants to listen to that. I try to keep my episodes neat, organized, and note-taking worthy. And this episode will be short and sweet. So, with that being said, let's jump right in. To me, looking, feeling, and ultimately being more feminine is the epitome of womanhood. My first tip to looking and feeling more feminine is actually styling your hair daily as well as wearing dresses and skirts. Keeping your hair neat, styled, and moisturized is essential for you to feel more feminine. I know for me, it doesn't really matter how pretty my outfit is. If my hair isn't styled or cooperating, I feel messy and undone. The same can actually be said for wearing dresses and skirts. They're the epitome of femininity. For my particular style, I love the long, flowy styles of dresses because they literally make me feel like I'm a flower, and I'm comfortable wearing them because of the modesty that they allow. If you're not used to styling your hair daily or often, or you don't typically choose dresses and skirts when you're shopping, I'm challenging you to try it. This is all a part of finding your personal style, which is actually an entirely different podcast topic that I'll hopefully get to in the coming weeks. My second tip to looking and feeling more feminine is to moisturize your skin and keep it moisturized. Choose lotions, creams, oils, and body butters that allow your skin to glow and radiate, especially in the spring and summer months. Not only does this keep your skin healthy, but it definitely makes you feel prettier and more put together. Sometimes you may even have to run through products. That goes for your hair, your skin, even your clothing, to see what you like and see what works for you. My third tip is to wear jewelry. Adding jewelry to any outfit can instantly enhance its elegance and beauty. The right jewelry can make the cheapest, most basic outfit look expensive. And that's what I enjoy doing. Wearing basic, cheap outfits and really dressing them up. Here's a tip inside a tip. Try not to mix jewelry. For example, try not to wear gold earrings and silver bracelets. Keep gold with gold and silver with silver. Personally, I like to only really wear gold jewelry because it matches a lot of my outfits. Though I'm trying to expand my wardrobe, if you know me, you know I primarily wear earth tones and black, which are perfect for jewelry. Implementing jewelry into your style is something that is so subtle. Most people don't even realize that it can give your entire outfit that extra wow factor and make you feel entirely better about yourself, thus increasing your femininity. My fourth topic for looking and feeling more feminine is to embrace a confident attitude. Demonstrate that you feel good about yourself through your demeanor and your words. Give and accept compliments. Smile at people. Act from a place of high confidence and self-esteem. I do want to note that embracing a confident attitude to increase femininity does not mean act conceited, proud, condescending, or arrogant about your physical attractiveness. This topic is more so about your inner works, and it will radiate through your outer works. My fifth tip is to limit swearing. Cuss words and vulgar language are considered masculine. That's just the truth. No matter how hard it is to accept or how much you want to reverse it or even argue against it, it's just the truth. We know that swearing and using vulgar language usually comes from a place of great emotion, which is something that as women we naturally have. But feminine women and women that care about increasing their femininity are more clever and creative with their words, while still getting their point across. Remember, you and someone else can be saying the same thing, but the words that you use, the tone of your voice, and the way you speak can have a much greater impact than someone who is yelling, someone who is swearing, and someone who has a harsher tone. In all of my podcast episodes, I always like to add in a personal factor. Yes, I am always working to inform, and I do implement these things in my own life. But it's definitely not easy for me either. Unfortunately, at some point, using swear words just became a part of my vocabulary, like many of us. But I'm actively working to reverse this. My sixth and final tip for this episode on how to look, feel, and be more feminine is to be accommodating and receptive. This is a huge one because receptivity is often a basis of femininity. And excuse me, everyone, I literally can't pronounce femininity. I have a lisp, and it just tongue ties me. But receptivity calls for us to be and go with the flow of life, trusting that our patience, softness, kindness, endurance, and other hard work eventually will pay off. Feminine women are caring and accommodating to others. But this doesn't mean that you lose yourself. It doesn't mean that you let yourself go or that you live your life for others. But rather, you would just embody receptivity and love. Personally, I think that many women are afraid to be accommodating because they think that means that they'll put any and everyone ahead of themselves. This fear is definitely understandable, especially for us people pleasers. To be accommodating really just means to be willing to fit in with someone's wishes or needs. And some synonyms are cooperative, helpful, and adaptable, which again is a part of receptivity. This is why it's so important to learn balance and boundaries, though. And if you've listened to my previous episodes, you know that boundaries are something that I've preached since the beginning of this podcast. However, accommodating to people you love is essential in feeling your most feminine self. I also think that many of us are afraid of receptivity because we're afraid of let go of the reins and control. But receptivity really just means the ability to receive, to be open and accepting. In other words, just going with the flow of life with grace. This is something that is hard for many of us to do, including myself. but it is something that's necessary in order for us to come back to our feminine natures. That is all for today's episode of Peace Be Still. I prefer to keep the episode short and sweet because I can monitor how far people watch into the episode, and about halfway through, I think people in the episode, or they just get tired of my voice, or maybe I'm not talking about things that are as interesting. So I'm always trying different methods, different ways to see how people will take to the episode. Nonetheless, if you made it to the end of this episode and you're flabbergasted, or you think these tips are just not you, that they will never be you, or that they just don't seem realistic, don't be alarmed, don't be overwhelmed, and please don't be quick to push them to the side. It doesn't matter how far gone we may feel or even be. Changing and improving our lives is 100% possible and doable for anyone. Anyone can reinvent themselves, and you can reinvent yourself as many times as you need. Some great advice that I can give you all is to actually go on TikTok and search up feminine inspo videos that are appealing to you. Use this episode as a tool or even a spark for your research, because at this point, TikTok is pretty much a search engine, so use it to your advantage. I will leave you with this. Everything starts with you. How you feel about yourself, how you treat yourself, depicts how you'll present yourself. And that, in turn, will depict how other people perceive you and treat you. If you've enjoyed today's episode, please consider leaving a review and even sharing this episode on your social media if you choose. As always, all of my social media will be linked in this episode's description. Stay tuned on my Instagram for more posts on how to look, feel, and be more feminine. Peace, blessings, and prosperity to everyone.